Hi, everyone. It's Marilyn Alauria, and welcome to Who Can It Be Now? You know I want to say the podcast, but I'm not going to. I just said it. Anyway, in this episode, you are going to be invited into our last pod party that we did, which is going to be super fun for you because let me highlight and tell you what is going to happen. You're going to be able to listen in to the amazing pod party we did and learn how to breathe into your heart center and tap into your soul wisdom. You're also going to work on visualizing and connecting with your soul light. You're going to work on a belief that may be keeping you back from having your best life yet. And then we talk a bit about synchronicity and how synchronicity is in the good moments and in the bad moments. And that is synchronicity and how wonderful that can be. And when you learn how to embrace synchronicity, that everything is information, you really start living a co-creative life with the universe. So if you are interested in joining our next pod party, go to marilynalauria.com/party, and that will also be in the show notes, and come join us. If after listening to this, you're like, I don't know, was it that much fun? Should I go? I'd say still go to marilynalauria.com/party and come join us. And then maybe if you're listening to it and you're like, I really don't want to be on camera with all these people. There's like all these strangers. That girl sounded weird. I don't care. Go to marilynalauria.com/party. Because you are going to have fun. Here's the thing. It's new to me. Whenever I do things that are new, it's always like I'm trying to find the training wheels. I'm trying to find the wheels. And then I'm in the driver's seat. And then I'm riding, baby. I'm going. And what I love about my work with my guides is you guys show up. I have an idea of what I want to teach, whether it's around clairvoyancy, clairseeing, clairaudience, clairhearing, claircognizance, clairknowing, whatever it may be that I want to teach that particular day. I'll have an idea. And then I tap into the energy of everyone on the call, and they bring forward these magical techniques and tools, and we play. And the thing about my guides is they don't live in a box. They have these tools and techniques that they're just never ending. There's so many, it always surprises me. I'm like, holy mackerel, that was a good one, or that was a fun one, or that was a great meditation. So you're going to be able to enjoy all of that if you come. And I like to meet you where you're at on your path and really help you grow and expand and change. This year is about changing to where you want to go. So don't think about it. Just do it. Take the risk and be the fool card. He takes a naive risk. He's like, I don't know what I'm getting into, but I'm going to do it. I don't care. I'm going to do it. I got this friggin' dog barking next to me. Did you ever see the fool card? He's holding a white rose. He's like, is he jumping off the cliff, or did he just come back from jumping off the cliff? What do you think? Do it. It's going to be fun. And if it's not fun, you know what? It's going to be fun. I've never had anybody come to anything that I've done, and maybe I've pissed off a couple of people, but I kind of doubt that too. You're always learning something, and you're going to have fun. So go to marilynalauria.com/party. Okay, I have something I want to talk to you about. This is why I think these things are really important. So back in, I think like September of 2021, it started for me where I was like, I really am ready to change my life big time. Now, this is coming from someone who moved to a place she didn't know anybody and into like the country, woods, redwood trees, and really changed my life, right? So here I am again. I'm sitting here and I'm looking at myself last year and I'm like, there's certain areas in my life. Let me know if you relate to this. Certain areas in my life. Oh, I have something else to tell you, but I'll tell you this first. Certain areas of my life where I really want to see the needle move forward, and it's not moving forward. And I wasn't getting pissed off. I was getting like, what do I need to do in order to see great big change in my life? So I kept asking myself that question. I'm like, okay, what choices do I need to make? What do I need to do? I wasn't blaming the universe. I wasn't blaming anybody in my life. I was looking at myself going, what does Marilyn need to do to make these changes? And I've committed to it. And here I am recording this in January of 2022 with you. And I have really committed to this path. And I want you to do the same, because I know that people sometimes can be afraid of change. It's fascinating today in Membership for Your Soul. Joan, one of our moderators, put up a question. Are you afraid of change? Do you embrace change, or do you create change? And I was like, all of the above, man. Sometimes change comes down the pike and I'm like, oof, I don't know about that. So there's a little bit of trepidation and fear because it's new, right? But then I embrace it and I definitely create it, you know? I remember being afraid of change. I remember when I was a kid, I loved the number 5. And when I started studying all this work, this mediumship and psychic abilities and tarot, and I found out 5 meant change, I stopped liking the number because all the change that was showing up in my life then, it sucked. It just friggin' sucked. It was like I was working so friggin' hard and I was just hitting walls. And I didn't trust the universe. I didn't trust God. I didn't trust Source because everything that was showing up just sucked. And then I started learning how I create my life from the inside out. And I started learning how when things come down the pike and it's really not a lot of fun and the thing is really shitty, how to change my perspective around it, how to recognize it for a moment for something even greater and bigger. And so now I don't mind the number 5. I actually like it. I actually look in my life because sometimes I get bored, man. I'm like, oh, this again? And then I look for change. So if you're looking for change, the pod party is for you. If you're looking for even greater change, I want to invite you to something else. So we have different programs, right? And the thing that I really like about my teaching, and this is feedback from my students too, because I do sit and listen, and I did ask them recently, what was it that they really liked? And I was blown away by their answers. But one of the things that I feel my guides do really well is they, like I said, they have this like eternity toolbox, like this infinite toolbox of techniques and tools to help people learn how to use their own gifts to move forward. And that gift could be listening to people. That gift could be hugging someone. It's not only these psychic gifts, it's a lot of things. So I have these incredible beings by my side that are just teaching guides. And I love meeting people on their path. And I'm able to multidimensional listen to them and know, well, my guides bring it forward, what's going to help catapult them to a better experience, to opening up their heart, their soul, and living from there. So if you're thinking like you're getting your feet wet with me and you're like, you know what, I kind of like her. She's a straight shooter, which is what I've heard. She's very honest. One of my students, I like calling them community. She went into Membership for Your Soul, and then she went into Soul Finder Academy. And I've been watching her growth, which has been phenomenal. But she said, you know, when I first heard you on a telesummit, she was questioning why, like, she's like, this woman sounds like she's still having some problems. Like, why isn't she past all of this? Because I'm very honest about the things that go on in my life. And I share it from the perspective of this happened. And then I did this and I moved through that. But when she was listening to me, she was like, I don't know, like shouldn't she be in bliss? And she had those kind of rose-colored glasses on. And she was great though, because she listened and she was like, well, I'm going to give it a try. So she went into membership, and she put us to task right away. I remember one of her posts and we were like, what? No. And we had this work, and she sticks with it. What I love about her is that she's very conscious of her own behavior and her own self, and really working very smart to move through and exceed and excel. And she's doing beautifully. So she's doing great. So now she's in SFA. Like, she went from membership and then went into SFA. But the reason why I share her is because what she said. And I really appreciated that feedback, because a lot of people, spiritual teachers, they're afraid to go out there and let you know that they may be stumbling, or they may have hit a roadblock, or they may be grieving. And the reason why is because maybe you won't buy into their product or something, right? Because if they let you know that all of a sudden they're crying in the corner for some reason because something happened, then you're not going to trust them or believe them. And I don't buy into that. I'd rather see the real person, the transparency. That's why I like Oprah, because she always shares her stories and how she gets through them. Brene Brown does that beautifully. Mel Robbins does it too, I've noticed recently. I like people that do that. And I learn from them because it humanizes them, right? And then they tell you how, like, the thing is like when I go through something, I go through it uber fast, really fast. So if you're dipping your feet wet with me, dipping your toes in, dipping your feet in, and you're like, you know what, I like her. I really like what she has to say. I want to invite you to send us an email at care@marilynalauria.com and tell us what you want to work on. And if we have something that we think is right for you, we'll let you know. Here's the thing about me and my team, because there's a few of us that answer those emails. We don't sell anybody that isn't ready for anything. We're not going to push you into anything. We may say, hey, Membership for Your Soul is great for you. This is what it could offer to you. But you make the decision. I wouldn't be the teacher I am if I was to I've heard people do this before, where they will be like, if you don't do this, you're never going to get better. We don't do that. We offer up solutions and help you to make a decision that's really good for you. We have somebody else who's been showing up on my SASS experiences, and she joined membership, and we did a soul session. So if you do SASS experience, you get a soul session or two, depending on where you are in the whole process. So we did one recently, and Erin and I were talking about the people on it afterwards because they were great. And we're like, oh, this would be a great candidate for SFA, and this one would be great. And then there's this other woman who has done a couple of, she's done a SASS experience. She's come to soul sessions. She joined membership. And Erin and I talked about it, and I was like, I don't feel like this is a good time for her. You know, she's too busy. She's raising a bunch of kids, and I don't want to give too much information out because I didn't ask her permission to share this. And she doesn't even know that we had this conversation. And I was like, let's leave her alone. You know, if anything, you can send her a message that says, hey, look, we're here if you ever want to consider SFA again, but we think it's best that you just continue doing your thing. And we really do care about people that way. So if you're interested in wanting to learn something, even if you think I don't have it, hit me up, because if I don't have it, we have a ton of teachers in Membership for Your Soul. I'm going to point you in the direction, if I can help you, of somebody who I feel will help you. Like we have somebody, this woman, Antoinette Urel, taught crystals. I can't teach you about crystals. She taught a crystals class in membership, and I love her. Like I met her and I just on a phone call, obviously, and I thought she was amazing. She's just beautiful. And then we talked a little bit after the call, and I was like, wow, she's really great. So say you want to learn about crystals, I'll turn you on to Antoinette. So I just want to invite you to do that. If you're interested, go to care@MarilynAlauria.com. Don't go to. Email us at care@MarilynAlauria.com and tell us what you're hoping to change into. That was where the change story was. I knew there was a reason. Tell us what you really like to change this year and what you feel like maybe you're lacking in, and where you would like to go. Now, there's about 3 of us that read those emails, so I want you to be aware of that, because I don't want you to feel, I want you to feel safe. I'm all about safety. And then if we can help you, we may say, hey, you know what? SFA is perfect for you. Jump on a call with Erin, and she may talk to you through it or send you some information. Or we may be like, you know what? I think this is better for you, or I don't think you're right for this, or, you know, things like that. So, and most importantly, what do you think I'm going to say most importantly? Go to the pod party, MarilynAlauria.com/party. It was like I said, my first one. I'm excited to do them. And I feel like this one's even going to be even better, the next one. So go to MarilynAlauria.com/party. You're going to have a little questionnaire to fill out because I want to get to know you. And then mark your calendar and show up. That's the biggest thing, guys. Show up. Because if you don't show up, it's only an hour long at the most. If you don't show up there, where are you not showing up in your life? I have really committed to this change in my life. I am super committed to it. And I've been, I joined a couple of programs that are helping me to optimize. Mine is all about 10Xing a lot of areas of my life. And I'm just really working on it. And I got to tell you, honestly, recording this today, the day that I'm recording this, was kind of a crappy morning. I was in a bitchy mood. And because there's a couple of things going on. I had a whole thing, I'll tell you about it next week. Whole thing with the washing machine, and you know what those days are like, right? When it's the washing machine's doing this, that, and all of this. And I was just like, ugh. But first of all, recording this intro for you guys, I'm already snapped out of it because I love this work so much. It's just like, oh, connection. The other thing too is they don't last. It's information for me. It's like, I've been like a little bit angry, and I'm like, why am I angry? Because I have nothing to be angry about. I always run the SASS pillar system, right? What's the subconscious thought? What triggered that anger? And sometimes anger is just in your body, right? It's just sitting in your body. It's stored in your body, and you don't even have an initiating thing that could be causing it. Maybe nothing happened, but it's just there in your body. So I have to I do a little inventory on myself, and then I do the SASS pillar system to shift through it. So if you're interested, go to MarilynAlauria.com/party or email us at care@MarilynAlauria.com. And most importantly, enjoy this pod party that you're going to listen to and participate and have fun with us. And again, thank you. I didn't say this yet, but thank you so much for listening. Please do rate, review, subscribe, share this podcast. And I think that's it. That's all. Thank you guys. You'll hear a little bit of music and then you're going to go into the pod party. Bye. Party. Yay, first pod party, and I'm super excited. Okay, let's see. Ready? The Rocky theme. I actually met Frank Stallone once. There we go. Just feel like it's important to do the Rocky theme. I don't know why. We got Marie's here. Come on, everybody come into the ring. Because we're going to be talking about goals and making them happen. VS, I don't know who VS is, but hello. I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes. Hi, Vanita. Nice to meet you. Excited to meet new people.
Hello.
Jane's an oldie. Erin's an oldie. Erin's one of my coaches. She works with me. All right. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. Tell me. I just feel like I never am into the Rocky theme, but I just had to do it for some reason. Tell me. I'm going to actually pause that because we're going to probably produce this and put this on our podcast. And I don't know music rights if that's going to get trouble. Since it's a small group right now, tell me one of the reasons well, first of all, because some of you are new to me, I want to know who you are. Gina, I've seen you before. Have I seen you on telesummits or something, or where have I seen you?
I've done your courses before, and I just follow you on social media, and I listen to your podcasts. So,
which courses have you done?
I didn't do membership. I did the soul. What do you call it?
Did you do the SASS experience or Soul Finder Academy? SASS experience. Great. We're going to be talking about the SASS experience. So that's really good. Great. Vanita, how did you find out about me?
I actually just found you through Jennifer McLean's recent session that she did, and I caught you on that, and I heard the predictions. I'm like, oh, who is she? Let me see what she's all about. So, and I just found your podcast yesterday, so I was listening to your latest episode. So
great. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. And then I know Maurice. Maurice is a moderator. And then Renee. Hello, Renee. I've seen you before too. Are you in New York, Renee?
I am, yes.
Yeah, I feel like I remember that.
And I'm in membership for your soul.
Yay! Congratulations. So Maurice is our moderator, and Erin is my coach, and Jane is also in membership and in Soul Finder Academy. Great. It looks like it'll be a small group. We had 50 people. I've never done this before. We had 50 people sign up, and we have 7 people here. Woo-hoo! So we see how this works. But that's all good. So that means you guys get more time, more energy, and everything. So before I start, for those of you who don't know me, Vanita is new to me. I'm a psychic medium, teacher, coach. I teach people around the world really how to read for themselves, how to live a life in their heart and soul. It's super important to me. And as I move into my own evolution of my own life and my own gifts and what I do, it has become even more important to me to teach people how to do this stuff for themselves and to stop giving their power away to supposed gurus out there. It doesn't mean that you can't get readings or can't get coaching or you can't get healings, but there's a different way when you go into partnership and work with a reader or a healer or a coach.
Shut the door. Let him out.
Yeah, shut the door and bring me coffee next time too, because you don't get to come to this podcast, to this little recording without bringing us all tea. Sorry. Anyway, so for those of you who are going to be listening on the podcast, Marisa's husband came in and brought her something and left us all out of it. So the bottom line is that no matter who you work with, my goal is to teach all of you how to empower yourself. So you're not walking into a session, psychologist, anybody, even a doctor, a medical doctor, and you don't hand your power over. You want to be able to definitely work with the person in her expertise, be coachable, but also be able to decipher the information for yourself. What's the best for your soul? So we're going to get into a couple of questions. I always read the energy of the group before I dive in and figure out what is the best thing that we're going to talk about. But before I do that, I want to introduce you to Erin. Erin is a coach in my programs. And I want her to tell you a little bit about herself because she is just dynamic and amazing. And Erin.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you and welcome to this party today. Love the Rocky song, Marilyn. I'm here to support you. And I have been with Marilyn for about a year and been on my own healing journey for about 7 or 8 years at this point. And I've just been really trying to figure out like where my life is going, what I want to do, and healing along the way from various different things that have happened. So yeah, that's me.
And Erin is a bit of a old soul in a very young body. So she gives answers. She's coached with me on many SASS experiences. We're going to go over the SASS pillar system, which Jane is in SFA right now, but it'll be great to reintroduce yourselves to it. I think it was Gina who said she did it, but still, it's a really great way to start 2022, which is what I want to do with all of you. Since we have such a small group, I'm going to ask you to do something too. But before I do that, so Erin, whenever she's doing these coaching calls, I'm always blown away by her responses. I'm like, how old are you again? And I, and I'm in my 50s. But it's like, wow. So she's really great. And I really trust her with everything. What I would love to know from you right now is this is 2022. 2022 is really, in my experience, an opportunity to release the brackets from any kind of programming, thinking, living. I really feel there's an opportunity for limitless thinking. And I'm not a woo-woo, ride the unicorn type of person. I'm very practical minded. But I really want you to approach this year from a place of openness and ready to receive and ready to have what you desire. So before, I'm going to go to each one of you and find out a little bit about you, but I want to keep it very brief so that we can get into the work. But before you do that, I want you to think right now of something you would really love to get out of this call. You came here for a reason, and I want you to think about 2022. And I want you to think of it from a clean slate. I don't want you to think about, I have been wanting a love, I've been wanting to move, I've been wanting $1 million. I want you to think about it from, it's a clean slate. I'm here and I'm showing up in a whole new way. And with those kinds of ideas in your head, like I don't have to worry about past story, I'm going to get, just because it hasn't happened already. What is it that you would love to bring to fruition this year? And I just want you to spend a moment, close your eyes for a second, and just take a couple of breaths. And I want you to tap into your heart space. And I want you to see a beautiful candle burning there. And if you have trouble seeing, do not worry about it. And as you're tapping into your heart space, I also want you to touch your heart. Does not matter if you use your right or left hand. Left is about receiving, right is about doing. And as you breathe into this heart-centered space, into this beautiful candle, I also want you to breathe into your hand or your fingertips, knowing that you are fully capable to make anything happen that you need to make happen. You are fully capable to do the things that you need to do. And just take a couple of breaths and try that on for size. And now what I want you to try on for size is that everything you need to know about what choice to make, what step to take, everything you need to know you have inside of you. And I want you to breathe into the knowing of that, whether you believe it or not. And as you breathe into that, I want you to notice what feeling accompanies it. People disassociate with their feelings, and feelings are super important when you want to talk to guidance and get into the guidance inside your heart and soul. What feeling does it bring up in you when you think or you breathe into, I know there is something, everything I need to know is inside of me. I know it. What does that feel like? Okay, open your eyes. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to each and every one of you, and I'm going to ask that you keep it brief so that we could really move forward in the work. So I don't usually need a lot of story in order to help you. let me just explain a little bit of how I work. I usually come into these energies and I channel. I take everything from my guides and I bring it forward to all of you. So I don't always know what's going to happen when I do these types of calls. So what I would like you to tell me is whatever you feel comfortable with, but if you feel comfortable in this space and know that this is going to go out on my podcast, so just be aware of that. Hi, Nancy. You just follow along. You're not too late. Oh, there goes Nancy. She's gone. She's like a ghost. Nancy's our resident Zoom ghost, so just be prepared for that. I want you to tell me the feeling you felt when you tapped into wisdom. I want you to tell me if you believe you could make this year matter in the way that you'd like it to matter. I don't believe in, I believe in surrender to the vision, but I want to know how you feel. And then if there's something else you would like me to know, like you're ready to make $1 million, you're ready to have your own business, you're ready to move, you're ready to travel, whatever it may be. So I'm going to start with you, Renee, because I believe you may have showed up first.
Hi, Marilyn.
Hi.
So I felt a sense of peace when you mentioned, how do you feel after making that statement? So that was really great because I have to say in the past, I probably would have felt anxiety with that statement. So that felt really good because I did have a stressful day. So it just really calmed me down. Thank you. And for me, I've been working on for a while about being more visible. And that's been, a belief that is like the onion where I keep peeling it. And the pandemic has been positive in me coming to a lot of epiphanies about that. But I realized this month that I've still hitting some boulders with that. So that is something I would like to finally free myself of in 2022.
Great. Boulders are usually information from the universe in terms of, it's actually a piece of synchronicity. We're going to be talking about the SASS pillar system, which I teach in my Soul Finder Academy program. So I want you to, I invite you to try and emphasize that the boulders are there for information. They're not there to stop you. They're to build character, to help you to recognize that you're worthy of it, whatever it may be. But I want you to dance with the boulders. I want you to invite in a different type of energy around them. I love your conviction. I just offer that up to you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We're going to go to Vanita.
Leave it.
And I love that you felt peace. That shows me how quickly you can get there. Renee. Great. Go ahead, Vanita.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. So I think I felt pretty calm when you asked that question. And I think it's because I've spent the past 2 years really doing a very deep dive into my own personal healing work and journey. And I feel like it's almost like I had to go through all of that to shift into my purpose. And I really want to be in a place this year of living from a place of joy and purpose. And for me, what that's looking like is I would like to start a podcast. I'm hoping within a month or two, which is about not just sharing my personal journey, but all the beautiful souls that I've met during the pandemic who've gone through similar things. And I'm hoping that that will inspire me and other people. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Great. I love this. So I want you to try on a different word besides purpose, alignment. Okay.
Yes.
Because I find that sometimes people, I've read thousands upon thousands of people in my life, and people would come to me and they would say, this reader told me I was supposed to be a healer, but that's my purpose in life. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. And they get frozen. Our purpose evolves over time as we evolve. So when we're constantly living our life from alignment, which is the second pillar in the SASS pillar system, it's about alignment. We have a different approach to life. So my coach who helps me, I just started hiring, I want you to listen to this podcast, see if it works for you, is called, it's Podcast Business School. I'm going to look it up real quick for you.
Okay.
I feel like it'll be a great thing for you to learn marketing. I just trust him. I found his podcast. I really liked him. I did an audit with him and then I hired him. I was like, I want to hire you. Podcasting Business School. Okay. So the other thing I want you to gain from this call is action-oriented steps. We're no longer going to sit in I'm not saying that you are, so please forgive me if this sounds condescending in any way, but we're not going to sit in a place of waiting for anything. We're going to get into action. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I have signed up for a class.
Oh,
and
good.
anybody who has a lot of expertise in podcasting, because that was one of my things is I don't want to wait 6 months to do this and kind of bump my head around, spend the money, get someone who has expertise so that I can expedite my own journey and purpose. So thank you.
That's great. Love that, Vanita. And thank you for sharing that. I love that. Good for you. Good. Gina.
So I felt a sense of calm, like things were easier. And I have, for the past 2 years, been working on myself. The pandemic was a great time to work on myself. And I've noticed since September that things have just been coming to me very easily. I found a house. I needed a couch. Someone in my office offered me a free new couch. I needed an area rug. My aunt, I put it out there in the universe. The next day I get a text from my aunt saying, I have this area rug. Things have just been really coming so much easier to me. I'm also taking a course right now, and the 4th payment is coming up, and it's right after the holidays. I didn't have any money. Well, 3/4 of the payment just came to me recently. And I found that as I have released a tight hold on things, they've come back to me naturally without me needing to hold on to them.
Good.
And what I'm looking for is, I'm not sure where my future job is, what I want to do for the rest of my career. I have a full-time job and I do enjoy it, but I'm just kind of done with it.
Good.
So I'd like to bring something in so that when I'm ready to retire, I have something that I'm seamlessly moving into.
Great. Love it. Love it. Perfect place, Gina. I love that you already have the trust. And I feel like I'm going to be able to support you today, all of you, especially in the walking into your next career, because I did not expect this to be a career, and it was like coming home to my soul. I just did what I love to do and started studying it, and then a whole world opened up. So this is really great. Good. Okay, Maurice, and then Jane.
Oh dear. Okay. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Well, past 2 years have been muddled. The pandemic for me has not caused much difference in my life because I'm not working and I don't get out that much. But I find myself revisiting stuff and dreaming about people. I don't usually dream about people I know or have known, but people from my past would appear in my dreams, and I've found myself had collected a bunch of junk stuff, papers.
I'm gonna start streamlining you because I know you well.
Okay.
And it's because you're gonna do this, and I don't want you doing this. Okay. How did you feel when you tapped into your wisdom, Maurice?
It felt peaceful because it felt like I realized that I was just doing the usual, making a big fat clutter before I get rid of all the clutter.
Okay.
So I dive in and then I get rid of it.
What's your goal for this year? Give me one goal.
To move back into joy, having fun in my life.
Okay. So quickly, why do you think you're dreaming about all these old people in your life if it's connected to moving back into joy?
I think it's just part of putting the past to bed, seeing him in a new light and being done with it.
Okay. So what is keeping you from just making the choice to put the past to bed?
I just think it's the weight of having mementos of that stuff around me still in my presence.
Okay. So what I want you to play with today is, I'm glad I made you do what I'm asking you to do. I want you to play with the idea of what is keeping me from keeping these mementos. What is making you keep these mementos? What is keeping you from just getting rid of this stuff finally? Okay.
Habit, probably.
Okay, that's cool. And I'm not worried about you because I know you know the processes because you've been in my programs and you're in my programs and you're a moderator. But that's what I want. And then I want a date of when that's going to happen. Okay. But for right now, for today, I just want you to play with, why am I holding on to this? What I wanted to, we're going to talk about subconscious living, right? And subconscious belief systems, because what's happening, and that's the first pillar in the SASS experience, in the SASS system, that's what's keeping us people from moving forward. So there's beliefs underneath that are constantly at work that are keeping us from doing what it is we really want to do. You're going to find that, Renee, with your boulders, Vanita, you already moved past the belief, like, enough already. I'm going to pay money for this and expertise. I'm not going to sit and wait. Then there's going to be another belief that shows up, right? Maybe being seen, being heard, whatever it may be. Gina, you're going to like, how do I constantly get an abundant flow for my next career so that I could pay for the things that I need to pay for to support me as I seek this next iteration of myself. So it's all these things, but we're going to work with belief systems a bit. All right, Jane. And then I know that there's Emily who's hiding on here. And Emily, you're more than welcome to come on camera with us. Hi, sweetie. So I remember you and I know who you are, and I'll come to you in a minute. What I want you to just think about, and then Erin, I want you to tap in, is just what you would really like to have happen this year. None of this is like, if you don't do it, you stink. I was going to say you suck. That's not what this is about. This is about being on the journey and an evolution, and whatever shows up, having the tools and techniques to deal with it. Jane, and you know I'm not going to let you go on a long time either, Jane.
Right. I felt a sense of calm and a sense of excitement.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
We just did a soul session too, which was like, I do soul sessions in Soul Finder Academy, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to join a soul session at the end of this and tell you about it. It's really great. I taught them how to read today, and with symbols, and it was a lot. Was it a lot of fun, Jane?
That was a lot of fun, and I got a lot out of it, and it really is. I can really relate to what Maurice said about, what is it that is from the past that's holding me back?
Yeah.
And I'm taking steps to move forward to complete. I just signed up for a writing course on one short book, doing something every day. And my title is This I Am, and Yes I Can.
Good.
And so I want to see that being accomplished and done by my birthday in June.
Good. I love it. Great.
Yeah.
Great. Perfect.
And so just standing, and the other piece that's important for me is being centered and grounded and knowing that I can do anything I set my mind to do.
I'm going to give you another piece, trusting yourself.
Trusting myself. That's a big one. Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what I see with all of this. And you have such incredible gifts and everything with you. So Emily, don't worry that you joined late. Everybody say hi to Emily.
Hi.
Emily, this is going to go on my podcast. So be prepared for that. I'll probably go on YouTube as well. We're starting a new YouTube channel. So if you're uncomfortable with that, I'm letting you know that ahead of time. You can be a ghost. Appreciate and that. You can ghost us if you like. That's okay. Okay. So we're starting with basically, we started a little thing where if you want to watch the beginning again, just breathing into your wisdom, your inner wisdom. But what I want to know from you is, what would be like if you were handed a magic wand, or you were told you could do this, you could have it, it could be yours. What would it be this year?
Better connection with my kids and just be able to express creatively. I feel like there's a lot within me creatively that doesn't get to come out either through time or just I feel like there's not time. And just connect, and maybe, and also connection with other close relationships, my husband, my parents, having that connection and feeling, being able to share emotionally with those people, not being afraid to have to talk with them. I have a lot going on in my head and I don't often share it.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know if you saw, I touched my throat chakra for a second because
Yeah,
my throat chakra is
yeah.
like this with you. And
I have that a lot.
I know a little bit about you from the last SASS experience. And the thing that I want to share, if it's okay with you, is I want to be careful about what I share unless you give me permission, just because I know a bit about you.
Okay.
But it's really about close relationship with yourself. I feel like the more you step into your creative expression, the better those relationships are going to get with other people.
Yeah.
And we think we don't have the time, but we don't have the time not to have the time. Now, I know you have like 4 kids or something, or 3 kids, right?
Yes. 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is a truth there. So I'm not going to deny that truth, but even if it's 5 minutes a day where we have some creative expression, it allows us to build a better relationship with ourselves, therefore building a better relationship with others. Because I'm not saying you're doing this. Let me use you as a teaching tool. A lot of times, if we're not giving it to ourselves, we're like, oh my goodness, I freaking like, sometimes if I'm like not giving myself time, I don't have kids, I have animals, I'll be like, oh, will you leave me alone? Like I get very frustrated with my animals. And I'm like, but it's really not them. It's because I'm not giving myself the time to just be for a minute and breathe. And now I've been more present in my life, and I'm like having the best relationship with my animals and with people. I feel settled for some reason, like really settled. Does that make sense, honey?
It does. It does. And I took a walk today, and I was thinking to myself, you know what? It's not that they're not giving me the time, because they're giving me the time right now, and it's because I just don't take it for whatever reason.
You may feel guilty about. You may feel guilty about taking it too. Yeah.
There's some.
Okay, let's just open the door, see what shows up. Let's not. It's all good. Okay.
Okay.
But throat chakra. Erin, what did you hear before we move into an exercise? Anything you want to give feedback on?
Yeah. The whole like, what are you not letting go of in order to move forward? I totally know that pattern painfully well. And what I was thinking about when everyone was talking was the fact that a lot of times we're holding on to something still because we're trying to figure it out. And it's because something about the thing that we're holding on to, we feel like it means something about us. And so when we think it's like when we're taking something personally outside of us that we might not even want anymore, but we think, oh, if I leave, it means this. If I stay, it means this. Then we are just like still in that trap of like navigating with our head, not necessarily like our heart and our like what our soul and like what we want deeply. So I think it would be useful to kind of like get into the subconscious stuff, right? And see like what's under there. What about this is tied to some subconscious belief that is about ourselves. So then we can release that and really align with who we really are and what we want. So that's what came to me while we were talking.
Great. I love it. So I'm going to walk you through a quick little exercise that's going to be a little bit of a meditation, and I'm going to ask that you use your imagination. Okay. Do you have pen and paper as well? Does everybody have pen and paper? And if you don't, I see Emily's trying to get dinner for the kids, which is totally cool. Emily, do whatever you need to do. You don't need to be sitting in front of the computer. I want to teach you something right now, actually. A lot of my work can be done while you're washing dishes, doing laundry. So I want you to continue doing what you need to do and just work with yourself in the moment. Because a lot of times if I say to somebody, close your eyes and what kind of bird are you seeing? You can do that while washing dishes because it'll just jump in. Okay. So do whatever you need to do. It's not distracting and it's not bothering me at all. It's a great opportunity. Okay, good. All right. So what you're going to do first is just close your eyes and stick your hands on your heart. It doesn't matter if your left is, the left I said is about receiving, the right is about doing for me. So my left is on my heart, my right is over it. It doesn't matter how you do it. The one thing I teach is everybody to trust their instrument. So I want you to trust whatever intuitively is guiding you. I don't want to put my hands on my heart. If I tell you to put your hands on your heart and you don't want to do it, you don't do it. Say you want to lay your hands out flat. I'm always going to give direction, but it does not mean that you have to take my direction. The most important thing for me whenever I work with anyone is that they trust their inner guidance. I'm teaching you how to trust your inner guidance. So just breathe into your heart space. And anybody who's listening, I'm going to say this just because we are going to put this in the podcast. If you're walking or if you are doing dishes or if I'd rather you not do this while you're driving, but if you you keep your eyes open, you stay present, and you just breathe into what your heart center is. You do not have to be in a closed eyed mental, sitting state, whatever, a meditation state in order to make this happen. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is get in touch. There's a light inside of you that is your soul light. You may not see it. You may see it. You may intuitively know where it is. You may think you know where it is. That's where it is. You may have to decide, I don't see it. I don't feel it. I don't know where it is, but I'm going to say it's in my stomach. I want you to choose a spot, if it's not showing itself to you, where this soul light lives. And as you see it and connect with it, I want you to breathe into it. Now, as you breathe into it, I want you to see your breath like an umbilical cord. So it's like a cord of light. Notice what color it is. Not everybody can see. So I want you to choose a color then. You could say it's yellow or it's red because it's my favorite color. It's not mine, but I'm just giving it to you. I never want you to, what I teach people is to stop stopping themselves by putting a period or it's not working for me. I'm frustrated. Great. Breathe through the frustration. You're not allowed to do that with me. So when you're breathing into the light, like you're inhaling with it, you just see a cord of light coming from you and just connecting. And then as you exhale out, the cord of light is coming outside your body and it's rising above and dropping down your crown chakra as you inhale and exhale. It's literally making just this circle of light as you're inhaling it into your body. And it might be like an orange light, a green light, might change colors. And you're just, I'm going to give you a second to do it on your own. You're exhaling it out and it's coming in, out of your body. It's coming in. So I just want you to breathe this circle of light in and out. And what it's doing is when you breathe it in, it's connecting to that soul light. And then when you breathe it out, it's telling the world that you are ready to align with your soul, that you're ready to attract into your awareness, into your being, that which is of your highest light and highest alignment with you. Breathe with that intention now. Now this soul light is getting brighter and brighter, so bright that it's coming out of your body. And as it comes out of your body, it's creating a pathway in front of you. And you're taking this beautiful lit pathway, which is your soul light. And again, if you can't see it or if your eyes are open, it doesn't matter. Say to myself, I'm just walking it right now. I'm just on it. But the thing about this soul journey, this soul light, this path, it's all from your breath, your connection to source, your connection to wisdom. So you are literally creating your pathway to your future. And it's coming from the deepest parts of you that know what is truth for you, what is the best thing for you. And it's got your highest intentions. Breathe into that and take that little path. And I want you to take it, and where it's leading you to right now is a goal realized. And there's a goal realized. So it could be Vanita's podcast is successful and she's getting interviewed. It could be that Gina has all this flow and she's in her career. Or Renee is like, those rocks are gone, those boulders are gone. She's being seen and heard, she's on a stage. Or it's Maurice, the clutter is gone and she has clarity of what she's meant to do. And Jane is clear about where she wants to move and her book is done. And Emily is in her crafts or creativity. I just give you suggestions. It does not have to be that, but I want to show you how you right now have the ability to create magic. So I'm just going to give you a moment. I want you to play in that future space. You see yourself there. You're just in there. I'm going to get quiet, I promise. And then you're just noticing what you're wearing, who you're with. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail like I normally do. I want you to just create the experience. How does it feel to be here? What chakra is open right now as you're in this space? What sounds do you hear? What colors do you see? What's the temperature of the room that you're in? Even if you're outside, what does the temperature feel like? What's that soul light doing inside your body? Now you're going to take the path back with your soul light ablaze, and you're going to walk back into the present moment that you're in today with everything that you already know, the ability to create. And you're going to sit where you are right now, and you're just going to breathe into your physical being because you need your physical body to create this magic. And you're going to breathe into your feet and your legs, torso, face to be seen, arms, hands. Breathe into that soul light. And take some really good grounding breaths from the crown of your head to the bottom of your feet, bringing your attention to the physical right now. Recall what you're wearing, what colors. And then you're going to say your name to yourself 3 times and open your eyes. And the exercise is not over. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and you're going to journal some things. The first thing you're going to journal is a belief that you have that may be keeping you from this destiny. Now I want you to rewrite that belief into a positive statement, which sometimes it's hard to believe. So one of the things I like to offer up people is, up until now, I used to think I couldn't make this happen. Up until now, I felt like there were too many boulders in my way. Up until now, I wasn't ready to be seen and heard. Whatever it is, or you may have a strong unbelief like, I am seen and heard and helping millions of people. So write a positive belief. Now here's the part of alignment. Alignment is remembering who you are. That's a piece of it. I go in much more detail into this in the SASS experience about what alignment is. But alignment for you today is a characteristic, something you identify in yourself that is in alignment with this belief. I am strong. Gina was talking about making, I believe it was Gina, making things happen. I am abundant. So you want to write something, a characteristic trait about yourself that you identify with, not what your mother says about you, your father, your husband, your kids. It's how you identify yourself. I'm strong. I'm worthy. I am an incredible teacher. I want you to write a statement now of that, an I am statement for alignment. And this is the A in the SASS pillar system, remembering who you are. Now I want you to scan your days. Is there anything that you do now that truly is resonant with this statement of who you are? This is the soul ignition part. So if I am courageous, where am I courageous in my life? If I am abundant or in flow, where am I abundant and flow in my life? I want you to bring it to the reality of today. So this is the soul ignition part. I am creative. I make bracelets. So I want you to write something that aligns with that, what you do today that works with that alignment piece. Now, the last part of this, I'll give you a minute. Okay. I'm glad everybody's journaling so much. Okay, the very last piece of this is synchronicity. And that's the piece that you have to now make a commitment in the next 24 hours to pay attention to the signs of the universe that support this dream. But there's something I want to teach you about this. And Marie's and Jane and Erin already know this. Synchronicity is not only the good moments. They're the moments of difficulty. They're moments of someone saying no. And when you completely trust that the universe is supporting you in this and you stay in your belief system, you keep shifting it into the belief system that's aligned with your soul, aligned with your dream, aligned with your character trait, and you keep lighting up your soul by doing the things that you enjoy, synchronicity automatically happens. So even if you go and try to do something and the person tells you no, that's a moment where you get to dive in and say, wow, the universe is supporting me somehow in a deeper way, and I surrender to it. So what I would like for us to do now is I'd like you to share a little bit about your experience, okay? But before we do that, I'm going to take off my jacket. I want to invite you, and some of you have already done the SASS experience. Jane and Maurice, this isn't for you because you know once you're in Soul Finder Academy, you always get the SASS experience. If you want to do the SASS experience again, we're going to offer you a coupon code. The different thing about this SASS experience is if you can go to joinsass.com, you can put on the coupon code. This is interesting. I'm going to put it in the chat because we're not going to let the podcast people know it or the YouTube people know it. So that's the coupon code. Gives you 40% off. And we're going to be doing soul sessions. That's where I teach you how to channel. So there's going to be 2 live soul sessions. One is happening tomorrow which you can join, and one is happening at the end of January. You're also going to go into a Facebook group. I do not do free Facebook groups. I only do it for people who join my communities. If you're interested, it's a really beautiful price. It comes out to a really lovely price for you. And it's 4 weeks. No, it's not 4 weeks. Sorry. It's 5 videos that you get to go through all the pillar systems. You get homework, you get support from us. It's really unbelievable. So if you want to check that out, go to joinsass.com. And I put the coupon code in there for you guys if you want to join. Okay, let's talk about what happened. So I want to hear a little bit of how I can support you and what was really good for you, what wasn't good for you, what was confusing, how can I best support you? And by all means, some of you are new to me, like Vanita is new to me. I love meeting new people. You can always say to me, Marilyn, that did nothing for me, or I already know this. That's okay, because you cannot work with me unless you're in your truth. You have to meet me on the path, okay? So Vanita, I'm actually going to go to you because I don't know you and I love getting to know new people. So I just want to hear a little bit about like what you discovered was a belief that you could rewrite, or give me like one piece. Don't give me the whole summary of everything. Give me one piece of the journey that was really, really good for you or not good for you.
Yeah, so I'll just share that what came to me when it was about the belief holding me back is I wrote down getting out of my own way. And I wrote down, I am ready to be seen, heard, fully aligned with my truth and living in my joy.
Okay. So Vanita, what I want to give you is say that statement again. You're ready to be seen, heard. Say it again.
I am ready to be seen, heard, and fully aligned with my truth and living in my joy.
Do you believe it?
Not 100% in this moment.
Yeah, I feel it in my throat. So my throat chakra and the heart chakra are about truth. It's about speaking our truth to ourselves, about speaking our truth out into the world. It's also clairaudience and empathic. Empathic is heart and throat is clairaudience. That doesn't bother me. I don't care about that. I'm going to tell you how to get into this. Besides doing the SASS experience, if you really want to do it, it's a really great opportunity. The other thing I'd like you to do is I want you to live this statement every day. I want you to find some moment in your day where you can feel it a bit. Because the fact that we're all like that, we're all working towards another level that we may not fully believe yet, but we get to play in that field every single day. And that's what I'd like for you. So I'd love you to write it out and say, where do I need to be seen today? Well, I was seen at the line in the grocery store because the woman cut in front of me and I said something, whatever it may be. So does that help you?
Yes. And I'm actually also, I have a sore throat, so that's probably not helping much. But I'm also working on being part of communities, because I feel for me, that's another expression of self, but also getting a chance to build and create with others.
Yes. And the thing that I would say about that is make sure, well, this is about clairaudience too, clear hearing, which I bet you're already getting messages and you may not be recognizing them completely. But what I would suggest you do is, okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you every morning to say that statement with your eyes closed and see it reverberating in your throat chakra. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
Good.
Thank you.
Hi, Emily. Gina, you're next.
So I worked on a few different statements, but I know that I am moving in the flow of my future career, and it's just waiting for me to step fully into it.
Okay.
And I wrote that I have knowing that helps people see through the fog of their issues to understand what they need and help guide them to move forward.
Great. So what I would offer up to you, I really like that. And you're working through your own personal fog to see this career, which makes us the better teacher. So like I said to, I think it was to SFA yesterday, my Soul Finder Academy students, I can't remember who I said it to, but I said, it was my coaches in there. I said, really great teachers are constantly learning. So what I want you to write down from now until tomorrow or whatever is the things that have helped you, tools and techniques that have helped you to see through the fog. Because
Okay.
what I feel like you're going to recognize is the expertise you've been studying all along. That's what you're meant to be teaching.
Okay.
How does that feel, Gina?
It feels good.
Great.
Thank
Good,
you.
good. I like it. Very good. And it feels like you got clarity with that, which is great. Renee, if she's still, I know she's still with us. Hi, Renee. You have to unmute yourself. I'm not that psychic.
Ooh, sorry. I went a little rogue, so I feel I'm still writing out
Good.
the info I was receiving, but you said to pick a piece. So I got a very interesting message, and it was surrounding, we brought up trust. And so I saw that in big, bold letters in my mind during the meditation. And I received the message that I need to trust that all roads lead to the same destination, which I think I've been worried. I've been a lot of worry about making decisions. So that was a very powerful message for me.
Well, you know what I love about that is that you use the symbolic road. And when we talk about boulders and rocks in our road, in the way, we see a road, like I always see a road when somebody says that with a big boulder in the way. And one of the best things my guides taught me when I was like, how do I get past this boulder? I need to get past this boulder before I live my life. I have to get past it. And they said, you go around the boulder, you live your life, whatever that boulder is representing that you need to learn, you're going to find in the actual living of your life. So I feel like you got this great experience. So what I would like you to do is visualize every day walking the road of your life. Were you able to see the soul light journey that went out into the future from your body?
Yes.
Okay.
I got color.
What color did you get?
I got purple, and I felt that, I need to, so maybe this is something I can do every day too, is expand that color outside of my body.
Great. What does purple mean to you?
I get a lot of peace with purple, and it means I get royalty, leadership. I know it's a color of the crown chakra and the divine, and connecting with that more.
Yeah. So it's
Felt
also
really
the
good.
highest spiritual color, especially in Catholicism and stuff. You see it a lot around Lent and everything, resurrection. So you're being invited to rebirth. Sorry, I cut you off. What was it that you were saying that I cut you off now?
Oh, no, that's,
Okay.
yes, I was raised Catholic. So I definitely, as I know you were, so I definitely feel, I was surprised to see that color. So that was also interesting to take note of.
Okay, I want to give you a couple of things. The main thing I want you to do is to really feel yourself on that road, in that royalty, in that leadership role. Okay. But the thing I want you to notice, and I don't want you can look for it actually, it's okay. Notice where you see purple in the next 24 to 48 hours.
I like that.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Thank you. Maurice.
When I did the soul journey, it was kind of otherworldly. It was I saw myself out there as kind of a wild young girl dressed in very little and moving from in the woods with animals from day and then into the open plains at night. And so it was certainly more symbolic than anything else. But part of me felt that what might be keeping me from that was that my life isn't streamlined. So I need to, again, get rid of stuff. But there is also an old belief that I'm not good enough to accomplish that. I don't have the gifts. But I've demonstrated to myself over and over that I actually do. So
Oh yeah.
it's part of the old stuff that I need to let go of, I guess.
Yeah, it always shows up, it teaches us something new. Erin and I have always talk about that when we have our own little sessions together and how old things show up that way. So the thing I want to offer up to you is simplicity, because I love the simplicity of the girl in the woods. So I want you to just start sitting with the question of how can I make my life more simple? Because that makes you happy. And Maurice, the thing that I did when I moved is I was so blessed that my realtor gave me this organizational woman, and I would have never thought to spend money in that area, like hire someone to help me. She gave it to me as a gift, like 5 hours. I had the woman do everything. She was phenomenal. And she was the one who was like, you don't need 3 spatulas, And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I don't. When I moved from this house, when I decide to move from this house, I'm going to fly her up here to do it again because she was so good. There's always the possibility of someone out there who can help you.
Right.
Or I didn't love the Marie Kondo book, nothing against Marie Kondo, God bless her, but I threw out too many things, but Carol, my organizer was even, worse at that, but it was so good. Okay. So I
Okay.
want you to just invite in, how can I make my life more simple?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Great work. Jane, because I want to make sure we end pretty much soon. And then Erin, I am going to go to you to hear a summary from you for everyone.
It was interesting. I saw the path in the forest, and it's just really a light leading forward. And the question that came up is, who am I to do this? And
Mm,
and it's up until now, I haven't trusted in me.
mm,
And so that was, and I know my truth. I get the purple light from above that comes into my crown chakra. I have the picture of Putakusi, which is the light that came from above. And I'm strong and persevere. And then I put regardless of circumstances. And I said, no, I joyfully acknowledge my gifts.
I love that, Jane. Wow. So I'm going to invite you to do something that goes on the heels of our soul session today. So who am I to do this? I want you to get in conversation with your mentor that showed up today. We did a meditation and we did some crazy stuff today. It was a lot of fun. And I want you to communicate with her about what she thinks, who are you to do this? And ask her who she was to do what she did. Okay. And then let me know in Soul Finder Academy what you find out.
Yeah, I will say very briefly that this is the mentor that led me to where I'm at now, that got me to finish my PhD in 3 weeks.
Yeah. And here's I'm sorry, go ahead, Annie.
It was to really to sit down and to write every day. And
Right.
she gave me tools that have brought me to where I'm at now.
And here's the thing, you're a PhD, and yet we can see the humanness in our struggle still as the next evolution. And what I'm trying to teach people is that is okay, but let's take the techniques and tools to motivate us to the next level of our life.
Yes.
Right. And to forgive ourselves for that, but we're not allowed to sit in it any longer.
Yep.
Okay. Good job. Erin, what do you want to share with everyone? Great job, everybody. Thank you for your vulnerability. I'll tell you in a minute after Erin speaks.
Hi, I just wanted to say that I loved what you said about the synchronicity. It could be things that are not so pleasant too, because every single time I feel like we're met with like the opposite of what we intend and what we say we want. I often see it as like, oh, I still need to build this muscle of showing up and being exactly what I want so that I can create what I want. And so I know like every single time I need to go down that rabbit hole, it's there for me. I'm like, nope, what am I going to do this time? What do I have to learn from it this time? Because whatever wisdom I pick up from meeting that again, I actually need to get to where I want to be. So it's like the process of the journey is everything. And that like small incremental change over time is just, it's gold. So keep going and keep doing your work because you will get what you want. And because you were here today, it's just, you're proving to yourself, like, I do want this, right? So I showed up and I did the exercise and I felt into it. So keep letting that align for you and sit in that alignment because you will create your truth no matter what. So
I love that. And on the heels of what Erin said, we had like 50 or some odd people sign up for this call, and you guys were the ones that showed up. That says a lot about you. So congratulations for doing it. You said, I'm ready for change. I'm ready to grow. I'm ready to expand. I'm committed to myself. Even if this call was the worst thing you ever experienced, that's the synchronicity. If I go on a coaching call and I'm like, ooh, and I'm like, okay, well, that was great experience because that person isn't for me. And I learned something about myself. So really great job for showing up, all of you, and for being vulnerable. I want to say thank you, because vulnerability, I'm not an expert in it. I'm learning how to sit in vulnerability and be vulnerable, really is such a great gift to give to yourself. So it's really great. And I love what Erin said about synchronicity, because it's so true. Everything is information, and I call them character building moments, and they're just great opportunities. One last thing I want to share with you is a lot of times you will find I learned my biggest lessons on the tennis court, and I bring them into my business. Don't expect it to be in one area of study. Branch out studying things, because that'll really teach you a lot about your life. So we're going to close out. Remember, if you want to come, even if you've done SASS before, I don't know if you did the video series, because it's a whole different thing. Come to joinsass.com. The good part about it is you'll get the Facebook group with me in there. And also, I don't know how long I'm going to keep people in there. It's not going to be for a year, forever. You might be in for a month, 2 months in the Facebook group, but you will get a soul session or two, which is really cool and fun. So just put the coupon code if you want to come. If you don't worry about it. I'm happy to serve you guys and to get to know you. Any last words before we end? Okay. So what we're going to do is unmute everybody. Everybody unmute. And you all wrote an I am power statement. And when I count to 3, you're going to say it. But here's the thing. I want you to tap into that soul light. I have to think of mine right now. Oh, I have mine. You're going to tap into that soul light and say it from that place of belief. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to dare one of you. It's like when you're in yoga class and you're waiting for the yoga teacher to do the Om, and everybody in the class waits for her to start the Om. And I would challenge myself to be the one to start the Om. People I notice when I count to 3, they wait for me to start the statement. Don't wait for me. Don't wait. Like, okay, Marilyn's starting it. Okay, we can go. All right, you ready? Breathe into that light. 1, 2, 3.
I
am
do have
comfortable with
patience.
change.
I do have a physical ability. I am empathic. I am strong.
Love it. That was great. How does that feel?
Good.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys so much for coming and for being here. And I look forward to seeing you on more things. And I just really appreciate this. Makes my life so much fun to be able to have all of you. And thank you to my people in my programs, Maurice and Jane and Erin, my coach too, as well. Oh, thank you. Oh, and Renee, you said you're in membership, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, super excited to get to know you in membership. So happy. When did you join?
Oh, it's been a while. I think, I don't even remember. It's definitely been 4 years, if not more.
Oh, wow. I got to get to know you. I never understand that. Like, I know I've seen you before, but I like to get to know people.
Yes, unfortunately, a lot of times when you're live, I'm not available, but I'm always on the replays. So it's such a great program. I love everything you do.
Thank you. Well, get a little more outspoken on the Facebook page if you feel comfortable, just so I can get to know you more too while you're walking this journey. Okay. Thank you guys. So nice to see you all, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks.
And Erin, I'm going to jump off this and then jump on my regular. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So how'd you like it? Did you like it? All right. I just wanted to come in here into your little earbud or however you're listening to me and remind you, if you really enjoyed that, to come join us at marilynalauria.com/party, PARTY, or go to the show notes and you'll find the link and join us. And remember that we are here for you. And if you have any questions or you're looking to expand or grow your psychic gifts, your life, your mediumship abilities, send us an email at care@marilynalauria.com. And let me just give you a little bit of tidbit for those of you who did listen to the outro. I'm going to call this the outro. What I would like you to do is start asking yourself, what do I need to do? What's one thing that I can start doing that'll create momentous change in my life? What is one thing that I can start doing to create really big change in my life? All right, guys, I look forward to seeing you in the party. Have a great night or day whenever you're listening.